Do you think that what happened with some of these cases, like the Trayvon Martin situation, do you think that there's a chance that that could continue happening? Because I keep seeing in the mainstream media them pushing, this is the next Trayvon. This is the next Trayvon.
It's all the time. And it elevates Ben Crump to a higher level. Now he's got a huge law firm. And it's a lot of money. 33% with George Floyd, which I agreed with. He was on that case, and I wouldn't have a problem. I didn't have a problem with any of that. But it was $27 million. He gets 33%. But every case is gets higher and higher. And he's still doing fuck shit cases, believe me.
Right.
But at 6 million, 10 million, 9 million, he gets 33%. He's just getting richer and more powerful. Media will kiss his ass and say whatever he wants them to because he gives them the scoop. And he's not the defense lawyer. People will go, oh yeah, he was the defense lawyer for Trey. No, he wasn't. He is just the guy out there drumming up hate and inciting hate between black and white people and making money off of it. And just your collateral damage.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
People need to wake up and start seeing it.
A lot of people do see it. I mean, you see him written about all the time. He had a partner when he was doing the Trayvon case. Her name was Valerie Jackson. Her last name was Jackson. And I knew she was a piece of crap too. And she would lie and say things like, George Zimmerman shot a warning shot and then he shot him dead in his chest. No, that never happened. There was one shot. But she was doing that to drama like it was premeditated. Like he stood out there and did the one warning and then he shot him. Well, she ended up being sanctioned for embezzling money from one of her clients from their trust. You know what I mean? I mean, she was the kind of lawyer that he would have to get to say something like that. I mean, you couldn't have ethics and lie like that. And they're lying about a guy that, I mean, if he had been convicted, well, he was convicted in the court of public opinion. He would have gone to jail for life. But all that public opinion crap doesn't go into the courtroom. You know, you're limited to evidence. And so he was found not guilty, but, you know, and I don't even care if I like the guy or don't like the guy or he's a piece of crap or not. I don't think anybody should be railroaded that way.
True. Right.
You know,
that's fair.
And especially the way they scared people. You know, they scare kids. Just, you know, the picture they use still cracks me up. But this evil, and he wasn't even white. He's like, I don't remember where he was, Salvadorian maybe, or no, he was, I don't know, Salvadorian or something, but he wasn't even white, but they were saying the scary white guy walking, looking for black boys. That's awful.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
The way he pushed that was insane.
They did push that. They were pushing it all the time. And we have to have a talk with our kids about going out and these people that are, you know, creeping around. Not even how it happened. You know, and then they act like, and I wrote the letter to Sabrina and Tracy, which was Trayvon's mom and dad. And that's what I said. You know how your son died. You know he was beating this guy up. The evidence was there. It was self-defense.
Yeah.
And yet, all this time, you're going along with the narrative that he just walked up and shot him. Just like for no reason. Instead of it being a teaching moment for other kids. Like, that's not the life. You know, Trayvon they had all his phone records where he was saying, I'm going to be a thug and looking for a gun. And, you know, he'd been 3 fights at school. That's why his mom sent him there, because he had been fighting. She never mentioned that. She never mentioned that. And
you want him to look like an angel.
Well, she made him look like an angel. And I can't say I blame her because that's her child. But when it came to worldwide riots and destruction and all of that shit, I was hoping she would snap and think, yeah, she knew it didn't happen that way. I mean, she knew, you could tell. But I think she was so into it already, she couldn't get out of it, you know? But that's all that letter was about, is saying, I mean, you knew, and you could have done good. Instead, it became black and white. And it wasn't even about black and white.
True. Don't you think that mainstream media does that a lot?
Oh, yeah. Mainstream media. Well, you always see white man shoots black man, right?
Right.
Do you ever see black man shoots white man?
Never.
Never. So, yeah, they perpetuate it.
Even black on black. Like when they talk about mass shootings, it really grinded my gears that there was a mass shooting like in the city right around the same time that there was a different mass shooting where the person was white, and they never spoke about it because it was black on black. They never even mentioned it. I kept looking it up. Like, is anyone going to mention this huge mass shooting that happened in this park in Harlem? No one? Oh, because it's supposed to be normal then. Yeah.
Well, and it is. Like the gang shootings, like they talk about mass shootings, which is supposed to be 3 or more in the same place. You know, like 3 or more shootings in the same place. That happens all the time in the inner cities. It happens all the time. But they never add them to like the list. Like you can find a list of all the ones at schools. There's a lot of shooting at schools, especially like, I remember Miami Gardens, where Trayvon was from. They had shootings in school. And I don't know who they think they're doing a favor for. Like, you're not doing the decent people that try to live in those neighborhoods any favors.
Right.
You know, they want protection. They want to know what's going on. And it's like they just ignore it. And I don't know why. I really don't.
I think it's because they don't get that revenue. It ain't going to get that much traffic talking about stuff like that.
Yeah, because they just lump it into, it was gang. Funerals. People shot at funerals. And they just, it was gang. So no big deal. These are people.
Crazy.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So to me, people looking at that and not seeing the tragedy pimps, I, at least with Sean King, put his brakes on heavily.
Right.
You know, I didn't stop him, but you can go back and see. I put his brakes on really good, and he had to slow down. But in fact, he started a GoFundMe for one family, Tamir Rice family, and I found out about it, and I called her lawyer, Tamir Rice's mother's lawyer, and told him, and he had it shut down right away, because that's one of the things he would do, is start GoFundMes and say it was going to be for the family, and they never saw it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, and I think that was in the Washington Post.
Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, these people not looking.
I said, what kind of stuff is people on, man? That's crazy.
Well, but they're trying, and they're on. If it's just like the gangs, like when there's all these murders and little kids. You know how many little kids are shot in drive-by shootings? And they most of them are ignored. And so if you mention it, you're racist. So white people just don't, we shouldn't mention that. Like nobody else is mentioning it. But there are decent people living in those neighborhoods. You know, they don't want the gangs in the neighborhoods. And they just like keep them in the neighborhood and everybody's good. You know, as long as they don't step over to our neighborhood, then we're all good.
I can understand that.
You know, I mean, that's just the way they do it. And I think it's horrible, because I live in a neighborhood where I see people, you know, like, this one old man is always taking his garbage out. And mine is a really good neighborhood though. But I mean, I just worry about it. You know, I think at any minute, because we did have one shooting here, but I think any minute it could happen to him, you know, or the kids that are playing out in the parking lot. Somebody comes by and, you know, it's over with. And there's no cops, you know, when you need them. I think they just kind of let it go. But anyway, when everybody got on to this blog, I think what shocked me the most is they didn't see it for what it was. They saw it a completely different way. So,
do you think they did that on purpose?
Oh yeah, I think that, and nobody did any kind of. They did no research. The ones that first came out with the white supremacists leaked the photos. That was straight from the mother and from Sean King. Sean King had said it, and then the mother of Kendrick Johnson, the one that went in the gym mat, she said it about me. I don't remember why, but the photos. She said that about me, and a blogger put it on her blog, not the newspaper. It was on her blog. And then Snopes repeated Sean King anyway. So I guess they took that to mean it was true. You know what I mean? Like the mother had no other reason to call me that except she didn't like the fact that I put out the photo of her son's face. She had been carrying around this flyer since the day he died. The father took a picture of him after the autopsy, and trigger warning. But when his forehead was rolled back and he was going to the mortuary. Well, that's the picture the father took, and they photoshopped it. This is not a lie. It's proven. Anybody can see it. And she would try to act like it was an Emmett Till type killing, that they had beat him so bad he was unrecognizable. So that went around for months, and it was stirring up, like, get those boys, the Bell boys. They're the ones that did it, even though they had already been cleared.
Yikes!
They just weren't announcing. They kept trying to get it investigated over and over. Everybody investigated it. So I put out, when the autopsy pictures came out with the file, with the whole case file, she wanted the autopsy pictures in the case file. So they granted that for her. And I got a copy of the case file. And to my shock, his face was very recognizable. It didn't look anything like that picture she was carrying around. I did put that on my blog to show she knows that's not what her son's face looked like. She knew it. But she wanted to make it seem like it. Yeah, she wanted it to seem like these two boys, two sons of an FBI agent, because they had to dig to find that. So it became, with no reason, just they found an FBI agent. Oh, he's got two sons. What can we make this into? And they really didn't have anything. I mean, they had gotten into a scuffle on the bus, two of them. They both played football. And so that became, for some reason, why you would kill somebody and stuff them in a gym mat, even though you were never seen going in and out of the gym. So that picture, and then another one of her series that she was drumming up hate for those two boys was which is insane. They hoisted him on a meat hook and lowered him. Yes, ma'am. Sir. They hoisted him on a meat hook and lowered him into the gym mat, which would be absolutely impossible. I mean, that would be impossible from any way you look at it. But she took one of the autopsy pictures after they had cut on him and put that on her Facebook under Kendrick Johnson Memorial, which was her page. She put that out and said, look what they did to my son. So I had the picture of when they first laid him out, like first, before they did anything to him. I covered his face and I covered his body. Like, all you could see was his back and then his stomach. And it showed that there were no cuts. No way they took that was another one, took his organs. They didn't get his organs and they didn't hoist him from a meat hook. And I put that behind three trigger. You had to take 3 steps to get to that one photo. And that was it.
Damn.
She had to, to me, somebody had to stop her, from these kids. He had a college scholarship, one of them. Ben Crump, who is big at FSU, Florida State University, gives a lot of money. Well, that's where his scholarship was. He got it taken away from him. This kid that they're blaming for murdering her child. Because, like I said, at first, Ben Crump was the attorney for them. And nobody says a word. The NAACP, the president of the NAACP, wrote, I think 2 or 3 blogs on my blog, 2 or 3 things on my blog. And she wasn't going for it. She said, this is a scam. Yeah. So.
Damn. It's real wild out here, man. They tried to get the Emmett Till off. That's crazy.
Yeah. It wasn't even recognizable. You could clearly, he looked bad because he had been upside down in that gym mat for, I think it was 26, 28 hours. Well, it's hot in a gym mat like that.
Yeah, and definitely.
Yeah. So he didn't look great, but and then she went, okay, well, the meat hook didn't work. So now let's say they beat him up and you can see all the bruises. Again, lividity. It's not bruises. It's where you're upside down and you don't look great when you come out of it. Yeah. And they just made a documentary. I think I mentioned that, blaming the boys still, naming them.
Really?